Hey everyone, Uriel Kim here. Welcome to episode 8 of Ask Yuri. Today we're going to be looking at balancing cardio and weight training. It's a very common dilemma a lot of people come up with. And today's question is courtesy of Alejandro. I believe that's how it's pronounced, based on the spelling. But anyways, I'm going to read you briefly his question. Yuri, after seeing your videos, I felt the most confident in asking you for some advice that involves losing permanent weight. I'm a 23-year-old male whose major goal is not only to slim down 20 pounds, but also to gain lean, toned muscle. Every other week, I focus on either cardio or weight training. For the past 2 months, I've built a good base to where I'm confident enough to take on harder challenges. I do my best to eat right every day. Taking your advice, I'm now doing intervals of 20 seconds work, 40 seconds rest on my cardio weeks. But I still get a feeling as though I'm not being as efficient as I can be. My concern is that I pay too much attention on one and not so much on the other in any given week instead of mixing things up. Is this the most productive plan to reach my goals? So for instance, he gives a couple examples. Week 1, he does intervals on Monday, Wednesday, Friday. Week 2, he'll do a full body workout Monday, Wednesday, Friday. Week 3, intervals Monday, Wednesday, Friday, and so on and so forth. So that's what he's looking. So he's wondering if it's best to continue doing what he's doing. So he's doing 1 week of just cardio, 3 days a week of intervals. Then the next week he's doing only strength training, 3 days a week. Sometimes he's doing individual muscle groups, more of a split routine, 5 times a week. But it's alternating, one week cardio, 1 week weight training. Is this the best way to lose weight and gain strength, build muscle? You know what, it's tough. I mean, there's no right way. Like not that there's a wrong way, but not that there's a really right way to work out. I mean, sure, you can do 1 week of cardio, 1 week of muscle building, 1 week of cardio, 1 week of muscle building, but you need to ask yourself, what is your goal? I personally don't believe that's going to lead to the results that he wants to get. The reason for that is because you're taking a week off of doing, for instance, strength muscle building, right? And then you're doing that for a week. Then you're doing 1 week of cardio, which basically destroys strength and eats away at muscle. That's the dilemma, is that cardio negatively impacts your strength and your muscle gains. Fortunately, strength and muscle work does not really negatively impact your cardiovascular improvements, other than the fact that it's taking up some of that time. So what I personally advise is the cool thing about this is that he has a bit of variety, which is nice. So he's not doing the same thing week in and week out. He's showing me some examples of some stuff that he's doing that's different, every other week, which is good. That's a good thing. But again, I still think he should be doing both at the same time. Again, unless you're a professional athlete or training for a specific event where you need to periodize your workout. For instance, I'm going to use the example again of something I did with the men's soccer team. Men's soccer is a very challenging sport to train for because it needs everything. It needs running endurance all the way up to power and strength. That's two totally opposite ends of the spectrum. How do you train for both at the same time? You don't, right? And for us, we have the luxury of having a full year to work and plan our goals out. So for instance, in the off season, we spent 4 months building strength and working into building power in towards the summer. Now, the key is that the guys have to maintain that by doing, ideally 2 to 3 of those kind of full body strength power workouts every week, even as we're starting to build in our aerobic interval running training closer to the season. Because if they just stop, they're going to lose all of that strength pretty much in a couple of weeks, no problem. But again, we don't focus on the running right from the get-go. Right, we focus on building the strength, and that's personally just the way I've approached it. And then we focus a lot more on the running game specific type stuff as we get into preseason and obviously the season. But for them, in order to maintain their strength and muscle, they need to maintain the work they've done in the weight room during all that other running work. Okay. Now, in terms of losing weight, it's basically what you want to do is you want to combine. I think personally it's the best to combine full body workouts with intervals. You can do full body workouts Monday, Wednesday, Friday if you want. Throw in your intervals after you finish the workout. Or you can do intervals on the Tuesday, Thursday. Take the weekend off. So you're doing Monday, Wednesday, Friday, full body, intense workouts, getting a lot of muscle mass involved, burning up a sweat, huffing and puffing, feeling totally taxed. That's awesome. Then you can do, if you still have some fuel left in the tank, then you can throw in 10 to 20 minutes of interval training after that workout, or you can do the intervals on the Tuesday, Thursday, right? So you've got 5 days you're working, 2 days you have off on the weekend. That's one way you can set it up. Another thing you can do is you can, again, I don't know what the full body workouts entail, right? I'm not too sure if they're high intensity, athletic type stuff like I like to do. But if the full body workouts are more kind of like a split routine bodybuilding thing, then again, you can mix things up. You can do the 1 week that I just suggested, which is Monday, Wednesday, Friday, full body workouts, Tuesday, Thursday intervals. Then the next week, you can try doing just muscle work for 1 week if that's your focus. Right? Again, think back to what's your goal, because every time you take a week off of something, you're going to compromise that a little bit. So you can do a week of just weight training, then you can go back into your intervals and full body workout. Again, there's so many different combinations, but the key, Alejandro, and to everyone else, is really being clear as to what is your most important goal. If the goal is to lose weight, it's good that you're doing the strength training. That's very important. I would say do the strength training and the intervals all in the same week, crank it out, kick your butt, get a good sweat on, focus on eating as healthy as you can, which obviously you're doing. And that's the way to work it out. In terms of the intervals, don't worry too much. I'm going to attend to this in a couple other videos because a lot of people ask me this. Don't worry too much about the exact protocol. 20 seconds on, 40 seconds off. It doesn't really matter, right? Studies show that working less than 15 seconds burns more fat. Whatever. I mean, that's nice to know, but really at the end of the day, if your work interval, if you can go full out for 2 minutes and then recover for 2 minutes, and do that for 20 minutes, that's going to be very, very tough, right? And so there's so many different combinations of intervals. Just make one up before you go into your workout and do that one. The variety, the change is really going to give some good stuff to your body, and it's going to challenge different energy systems, which is another good thing for improving your overall fitness level. So don't get too caught up on the specific 20-second, 40-second protocol. Try different things. Try 1 minute on, 2 minutes off, 3 minutes on, 1 minute off, 5 minutes on, 2 minutes off. Do whatever you want. Have fun with it, mix it up. And if you don't want to think for yourself, then check out my program, fitteryoufitness.com, where I take care of all of the stuff for you. You don't have to worry about which workouts to do when to do your intervals, when to do your cardio. It's all taken care of. I give you a monthly plan every single month, day after day, with the workouts, over your headphones. You got me in your headphones coaching you through workouts. You got the videos where I show you how to do the workouts. You got the exercise pictures and the workout trackers. It's awesome. That's my little shameless plug. fitteryoufitness.com is the website. Check it out. And in the meantime, I know that was kind of a little bit of a mishmash of an answer to the cardio and weight training question, but it's a complicated one. But again, be clear in your goals. If your goal is to lose weight, you have to do both. You got to be doing the high intensity strength training, and the intervals will definitely help as well. But also remember, losing weight comes down to eating healthy a lot, right? So that's a big portion of that equation. So that's it for this question. That's it for this episode number 8 of Ask Yuri. Thanks for joining me, and I'm always looking forward to your questions and answering them. I'll see you in the next episode.